3 American firefighters died when their waterbomber crashed while fighting a huge bushfire in the snowy mountains. The C-130 Hercules exploded into a huge fireball on impact near Peak View, northeast of Cooma. After losing contact with the ground about 1:30 p.m., rescue crews rushed to the area on Thursday afternoon but found 3 bodies and no survivors among the wreckage. New South Wales Rural Fire Service Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons said there was not yet any indication as to what caused the crash. Tragically, there appears to be no survivors as a result of the crash down in the snowy Monero area, he said. The aircraft impacted heavily with the ground and initial reports are that there was a large fireball associated with the impact of the plane as it hit the ground. The firefighters were on a plane chartered by American firefighting company Coulson Aviation that was in Australia to help tackle the bushfire crisis. Coulson's grounded at large air tankers after the crash, both as a standard precaution and a sign of respect for the casualties. Commissioner Fitzsimmons said the 3 victims were experienced firefighters who routinely crewed the C-130 for waterbombing missions. It is a confronting and sobering reminder of the inherent risks associated with firefighting, and we've seen all too often this season, he said. Our hearts are with all those that are suffering what is the loss of 3 remarkable, well-respected crew that have invested so many decades of their life into firefighting. The crash caused a fire that crews are still trying to put out. Before the cause of the crash, which is unknown, can be investigated. Commissioner Fitzsimmons said investigators were looking at all possibilities, including trying to rule out a problem with the fuel that could affect the whole fleet. New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian offered her condolences to the families of the victims in the wake of the accident. Our thoughts are not just with family and loved ones but for anyone who feels impacted by what has unfolded this afternoon, she said. We can't thank enough people who continue, notwithstanding the conditions, to put their safety at risk to protect lives and property of others. It demonstrates the dangerous work currently being undertaken and the conditions that our firefighters are working under. Search and rescue operations were underway earlier as authorities worked diligently to locate the wreckage. Local ground crews indicate the aircraft may have crashed. A number of helicopters are in the area carrying out a search. No further information is available at this time, the RFS said in a statement. Another website, ADSB Exchange, showed a RAF military helicopter circling an area nearby, ABC reported. The RFS said the area remains an active fire ground and a number of firefighting crews are currently working to contain and work around the fire. As indicated, we've still got more than 80 fires burning around New South Wales and half are not contained. We've seen fires get to emergency warning level today, up to 5 at any given time. We've backed down to 4 at the emergency warning level. The New South Wales RFS said it was too late to leave Mount Durra, Rocky Hall and Stoves Road in New South Wales, and Beard, Oaks Estate and West Queanbeyan in the ACT on Thursday. Meanwhile, the Box Hill and Nelson fire is burning just 40 kilometres from the city's CBD and remains at watch and act level. Residents in the Hills district have been told there is still a heightened level of threat to homes and to remain vigilant. Firefighters have also issued an emergency warning for a fire at Big Jack Mountain Road in Rocky Hall, an area in the Bega Valley, and the Adaminably complex, in snowy Monero. If you're in Mountain Durra, Rocky Hall or Wyndham areas, your plan is to leave or you're not prepared, leave now towards Pambula. Leave only if path clear, New South Wales RFS wrote on Twitter. An out-of-control fire at Pielago Avenue in the ACT and the Clyde Mountain fire at Eurobodalla also reached emergency level. Due to the conditions, Canberra Airport has been closed, with no flights arriving or departing. Fire activity is increasing in area south of Araluen Road. If you are in the Merricombean and Dewar Valley area, you are at risk. Seek shelter as fire approaches. Protect yourself from the heat of fire, New South Wales RFS wrote. Shortly before 1 p.m., the Box Hill and Nelson fire in the Hills district of Sydney was upgraded to emergency level, as well as the Badger Forest Road at Counterganny. However, the Hills district fire was quickly downgraded to watch and act. The RFS warned fire dangers were only beginning to peak midday Thursday with a long afternoon of fighting blazes expected. It's already hit the high 30s in some areas. At midday there's 70+ fires burning, they wrote. Trains between Sydney and Canberra have been affected as Queanbeyan Station has become inaccessible due to the nearby fire. New South Wales Rural Fire Service spokesman Ben Shepherd said low humidity and northwesterly winds had firefighters bracing for a very dangerous day. There is a broad area of severe and very high fire danger and areas of extreme fire danger, he said. Temperatures were expected to reach 40 C in Nowra on the south coast on Thursday, 43 C in Penrith in Sydney's west, 41 C in Cessnock in the Hunter region and 42 C in Bulladella on the mid-north coast. Increased fire danger is a result of damaging winds in the New South Wales southeast, with 96 km per hour at Cooma and Bombala, 95 km per hour at Nerriga, 91 km per hour at Goulburn and 83 km per hour in Canberra. The surge in temperature comes after days of rainfall across the entire east coast of Australia. Total fire bans are in place in New South Wales for Thursday in the Greater Sydney, Greater Hunter, Illawarra, Shoalhaven, Southern Ranges, Central Ranges and North Western fire districts. Severe fire danger ratings are also in place for these regions.
So we do have a new fire that started up yesterday, which is just to the northeast of Dubbo, out in the central west there, up around the Gnu Forest Conservation Area. That fire, whilst it's only about 1,400 hectares, it will be a pretty large and concerning fire in any given year, but obviously that is still a concerning fire. It's active. Crews have been working on it overnight. It's not yet contained. It'll be tested today. It's burning up northeast of Dubbo and probably to the west of places like Dunedoo in that sort of region. But all these other fire grounds that we've got, even this week visiting some of the areas on the south coast, Paul and I, we actually identified with the local firefighters and the IMTs, there's still a lot of active property protection going on, a lot of backburning activities going on, remote area firefighters inserted into some of the more difficult to access terrain, trying to get these fires under control and put these fires out. The reality is we can't get to all the thousands of kilometres of active fire edge. Rain has had some really beneficial results in some areas, but less so in others. So across a lot of these fire grounds, more particularly in the southeastern quadrant of the state, where we've had the least reliable and widespread rain as opposed to the northeast corner, and that's reflective of the fire conditions and the Section 44 declarations being revoked up in the northeastern part of the state. So the southeastern quadrant of the state is probably a focus area, but so too is the central west with this new fire. Across the Blue Mountains region, all of those Gospers fires, the Greenwattle Creek fire, all of those related fires in that region will be tested again today, and we've just got to wait and see what sort of new flare-ups or what new outbreaks might come as a result of these hot, dry, windy conditions. We've got to celebrate the rain with some caution. In some areas they've had remarkable results with rain. Dams are filling up. It's making a difference with farmers and with the broader vegetation. But in other areas, they're not getting that same volume. They're not getting that same widespread impact. So we just can't afford to be complacent. We've got to be careful. We've got to continue through what is the balance of summer and the balance of the fire season and remain vigilant and be concerned about the fire risk.